Hello, this is Jyoti Bachani, and this video is created as part of the assignment for the Tech Camp 2022-2023. I used what I learned from that Tech Camp for the brand new courses I had to teach in the undergraduate program. I usually teach in the graduate program, and after 12 years, I returned to teaching undergraduates. So it was the management department strategy class, which is the last class before the students graduate. I redesigned the class, not redesigned, I designed it for the first time. It was a brand new prep from scratch. So in terms of changes to the syllabus, this was all brand new prep, so that it wasn't really changes to the syllabus. It was thinking about what's relevant in strategy in the post-COVID world and what's the best way to engage undergraduates. I decided to use an online textbook, and the cost of textbooks is really high, so having access to a free resource through the Creative Commons open textbook was really nice. Students appreciated that. It also was a textbook that was available with separate links for each chapter. And in Moodle, I designed the Moodle site to be for every class session by the week. And I was able to post the reading from the textbook for the week on each of the weekly classes where they were expected to read before they came to class. So it was very helpful in breaking up the readings, using Moodle as the scheduling tool to say when to read what from the textbook. The other thing I used Moodle for was to design and implement quizzes. I had to teach 3 sections of the class and a lot of grading if I wanted frequent quizzes, which I like to do. The reason I like doing the quiz is to make sure students are reading along, and a multiple choice short 10-15 minute quiz is a good way to ensure that they have read the book chapter before we get into discussing it and applying it to a case study. And a 10-minute quiz with 10 multiple choice questions was the way to set it up. Moodle has different ways of setting up quizzes, and it also has a way of adding it to the grade book. So I tried to automate that so that the burden on me would be to create it, but then it could be used in all 3 sections, and the students would have their grades instantly as they like to do. There were some challenges with setting it up in the grade book. When you add items to the grade book manually versus add quizzes and have weightage for them, even with help, I ended up ultimately rejecting that and going to use Google Forms. And Google Forms allows you to have answers for the quizzes so students would get immediate feedback. But I would have to then go back and review the quizzes to make sure if there was a spelling error or something, they would still get credit for it. And that grading was updated manually on the Moodle gradebook. Moodle gradebook is something students really liked having because they could know where they stood in the class by having that. So quiz and gradebook were the 2 new things to use for this round of incorporating what I learned from the Tech Camp into the Moodle and the way I use Moodle. I do a lot of peer reviews of the presentations that students use in class, because in addition to meeting my expectations, are they able to reach every student in the class, and what the students' expectations are is helpful for the presenters to know. And I didn't think Moodle had a way for me to do that very easily. So we ended up creating Google Forms to do the peer reviews as well. The other thing that worked really well on the Moodle was to share. Moodle became the central way of organizing and scheduling things for the class. So everybody knew that regardless of whatever other technical things we were using, whether it was the quizzes, the peer reviews, the shared Google Drive where we put presentations for the classes, all the links were posted on Moodle in a timely weekly fashion so that everything was available to everybody in one place. So Moodle worked best for us as a scheduling and organizing framework, even though all the features did not necessarily work as well as, say, Google Drive or Google Forms, which gave us a lot more flexibility. So that was my experience with applying what I learned at the technology camp. Strong thank you to the EdTech team for always wonderful tech support and wonderful tech camps.